ULTI.TV.
Welcome ULTI.TV viewers to tonight's early match. We have Junkyard versus Gilgamesh. Junkyard are as yet undefeated in this league, and Gilgamesh got their first win last week against the winless Swill. Tonight we see Gilgamesh down Savage. They're missing Brett Milton, who's back to teach. Scott Russack is out. Mike Palmer's in Fiji, so they're Savage with 7. It looks like Junkyard's team is probably unchanged. No Andy Baddocks, we've just heard. So they'll definitely miss him on defense. He's had a pretty good game on offense last week as well. Got a number of assists and goals. Dare say that Junkyard will go in raging favourites here. It's a little bit windy, a bit chilly, so I expect to see a bit of zone tonight. Probably some turnovers as well, so should be interesting. My bet is definitely on Junkyard tonight though. Here we have Gilgamesh with the pool. This is Tom Roden commentating alongside Tom Bruce Lee.
How's it going?
Very well, thank you. And you?
Not bad. Bit chilly, but
Lucky you wore your lovely Russia suit to compensate for that chill.
if you could just see it, it is pretty impressive. Hopefully as impressive as this game.
So we've got a bit of wind tonight, Bruce. How do you think that'll affect things? I guess we'll see a bit of zone, a few turnovers perhaps.
I think this is the first windy game of the season, I would say, of any kind of significant wins, so it'll be interesting to see how the teams play.
First time the mercury's dropped below 20 degrees as well. Had a pretty hot start to the league.
I think
A little chilly tonight.
Gilgamesh and Blue are playing Savage,
Right.
so the cold weather is probably going to help them.
They're missing, of course, as we said before, Brett Milton, who is the leading goal scorer so far for the league. Fatty puts up the pool, a bit short. Foley's burned long early.
Just getting the tyres warm.
Back here.
Sando's off. He's looked off.
There's the first turn. Drew Hendrickson, who's usually so reliable with the disc, has put that one down straight away.
I think 35 out of 35 throws, completions.
Oh, here we go. A couple of quick turns already. Which team is going to settle first?
Oh,
there we
another
go.
one.
3 turns in almost as many throws.
So far, my impressive jumper has been more impressive than this game. Johnny gets it down the line a bit too easily against Greg. It's up.
This is an absolute Hail Mary. That's a hospital disc. Who's under it? Tim Davis brings it down. Saves Johnny's bacon. That was
Tim Davis.
There was a dubious look from Johnny there. It may have been on. Execution was a little off into the wind. Sat up a lot. 15 players got underneath it. Tim Davis brought it down. That's a crucial upwind, you'd think, for that Savage line.
Fatty with the weapon. That's a good
Good
pull.
looking pull. Brave take by Drew there.
Or
Take
NATO.
Nate. Underworking here. There's Greg. Here we go. That's a great disc. Greg will catch that. Oh, look at that. And there's Johnny with the D.
Captain's effort there, Rhodes.
Absolutely. It's dangerous play when you're trying to jam it into that corner of the end zone. We see the weapon.
Throws have been a bit shaky today, Rhodes. It's funny how a bit of wind can play on your mind.
Absolutely. Not only in the mind, but with the execution as well. Put those two together. Great disc there by Taz.
Nice throw.
There we go, Gilgamesh.
Johnny with the bookends.
Zip. Fantastic start for Gilgamesh. So Bruce, a lot has been said so far in this league about Junkyard's safe use of the disc. I believe they've had the most completed throws and the fewest turnovers, and yet already we've seen turnovers.
Yeah, I reckon once they get used to the wind, we should see them back to their old selves, but I think it's a bit of a...
You'd think that
bit of a shock.
They would only get stronger as the game goes on against a savage line.
Oh, Drew, he wants that disc, and I think they want the disc in his hands. Is pretty good.
That's
Manning declines the fantasy points.
There's confusion there between Ricky and John Foley there.
Yep, cut in late. Whoa. John Foley puts on a tight mark there.
They'll want to look to get the disc off the sideline like they have here. Use the weak side of the field.
What do you think about going man this game? It's quite windy. I reckon a zone might be a bit better.
I don't know. I think man will force Gilgamesh to do a lot of running. Tire them out with a savage line, I guess. But so far, Gilgamesh are working it up with relative ease, and there you go, 3-0 Gilgamesh. Great start. So we just come back from a timeout, called understandably by Junkyard, who have a bit shell-shocked here to start the game. I went and had a little nosy in their huddle, and they were talking a lot about their lack of defensive pressure, which may be an issue, but I think really where they're letting themselves down initially is their offense. They've barely strung a pass together, so I think they should sort that out before they start worrying about defense.
Yep, Gilgamesh, overhearing their team talk. I think they were all about just keeping up their hard running and defensive pressure. They know that they're savage, so they're just going to go as hard as they can, and then hope that what's their team name? Hope that Junkyard use their timeouts and they get a bit of a rest.
I think they were happy with that timeout. They think that played into their hands. Give themselves a breather.
I like Drew's confidence. He likes to catch the pulls.
Gets up to the brick mark.
The crowd enjoy it too. Dennis Shine, not usually a handler. Doing all right so far.
Decent catch there by T under pressure. Up to Foley. It's John Foley.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, poor execution by John Foley there. He needs to get that disc to spin in this wind.
Asman's unleashed.
He's made things happen so far this game. Unchecked. Scary, he'll put this. No, he looked it off.
Well stopped by Nick there to stop the other line.
I'd have really got to scramble here. Fourth, it'll be big trouble.
It'll be tough to come back from that. Nick does well again.
Good decision not to take that one. Feel it's imminent. There it is. Fatty jams it in. So Bruce and I were just talking off air before about how sometimes having a savage line actually plays into your hands. It fires you up. You know you're going to be on the field the whole game. You can get into a good rhythm, and it certainly looks like they've got that at the moment. Junkyard, on the other hand, Junkyard just need to string some passes together. Their handlers need to feel the disc.
Yeah, I think their throwing skills drop off pretty sharply after their main handlers, which might be why they're turning it over.
With a bit of wind pressure, and there we go, exactly the same thing. That was exactly the same type of turn that we just saw with John Foley.
They've been getting away with it all year in the calm weather, but not tonight.
Here we go.
Drew trying to rally the troops on the sideline.
Oh, there's a turn. That's a lucky break there for Junkyard. He puts that one away this time.
He slips over on the undercut. Could have been open.
First touches for the match. Juggles that one in. Move this back to Sando now. Good movement by Sando. And
oh, a bit of some soccer skills there.
Saves himself then. Here we go. This is going to play into Fatty's hands, you'd think. And a poor read by both players, in fact.
Fatty does just enough.
Edged him under it there.
Yeah, I think there was a call of conservation of greatness there after Sando's kick up and catch.
Sando's team. Sando's team is under an awful lot of pressure here. We've seen in the past with pre-World Sando, when he's been captaining sides, he's taken a lot of the responsibility, especially when his team is down. So let's hope that it's not going to adversely affect this game. Definitely a shaky start. See what Sando can do this time.
Nice tight mark from Foley, gets the shoulder.
Taz is all over Ricky. Nate's proving himself pretty useful so far. Interesting throw, straight to Manning.
Commentator's curse. Fatty, he likes to hit the end zone. Looking for options behind him now. Foley helps him out. Sando with a nice tight mark.
Fatty all day at the moment. Davis is on. He'll take. Oh, poor read.
T makes sure Tim remembers that D.
Middle of the field, good position for him here. Nate is a little too deep at the moment. He's clogging that deep part of the field. But he's going to see the disc anyway. Needs to get it back into a handler's hands. Through traffic, gets to Ricky. Good gain to Greg.
Nick's on.
A mismatch here, Nick versus.
It's a one-on-one in the end zone. T makes it a 2-on-2.
Yeah. Similar result. Like Nick Dukovac is moving as well as he has been in the previous weeks. Grabbed by Taz there. Dishes to Foley.
Oh, Foley tries to put it out the back. But
fantastic disc in the end. That's 5-0. Just had a second timeout call by Junkyard, who are 5-0 down, facing.
Gilgamesh timeout.
So we had in the little huddles, Junkyard was concerned about their hucking, not the fact that they'd hucked incorrectly or not often enough. But Ricky was pretty keen on the fact that they're not hucking enough. Whereas Johnny's really happy with the way they've been working the disc under side. They're happy with their under game. They're happy to get those little undercuts from, I guess, their secondary handlers from the back three, who I guess are Johnny and Foley and Fatty, and they're happy for them to put into the end zone.
Yeah, I think that might be Junkyard's weakness at the moment. They don't really have those secondary handlers that can move the disc up once they get it. They are missing Andy Baddix. Do you think he's worth 5 points?
Look, I don't think he's probably worth 5 points on his own, not the way this game started. I think the way they're playing, they would have gone down 5-0 anyway. But they'll certainly miss his pace on defense, and well, he's been playing pretty well on O as well.
I'm sure he'll let his team know when he gets back.
Another turnover, and there's the sixth goal for Gilgamesh. This is quite incredible. So we've got an absolutely shell-shocked Junkyard here. Bruce, do you see them getting back into this match, or is a 6-point deficit this early in the game too much to come back from?
Look, doesn't matter what sport it is. Usually after a team gets up such an amount. They usually put the foot off the pedal a bit and then let the other team back in it. Drew gets it to Fred there. Nice dump to Ricky. He's got a good view of the field. Oh,
and there's another turnover. This is most uncharacteristic of Junkyard.
So he was declined.
And that's the thing, to come back from 6-0 down, you'd expect that Junkyard will have to take a few risks, more so than they are at the moment. I can't see them getting back into this game.
This looks like Gilgamesh have come in with a bit of a nothing to lose mentality, coming in savage.
And they look quick. They look quick.
Junkyard just trying to be a bit too precious with the disc and a bit too careful. They're just overthinking things, I think.
Incidentally, this could be Tasman Mitchell's last game with Gilgamesh for about a month, as he may be going over to the United States on holiday. So.
A college team, has he?
See what Gilgamesh do next week, if they don't has as well, and Mike will still be away.
Brett Middleton maybe away.
Maybe away.
Or
Foley absolutely fired that at Manning.
Didn't quite have David Sanderson's footwork there to keep it up. Dennis, he was open. And he's not
wasted
happy.
Opportunity, he feels, but now he's clogging the deep. He's got to get under.
He's not happy. Fatty and Johnny do the switch.
And there's, that's amazing. Fatty desperately unlucky there, but doesn't matter. They've got the D, another drop, another, shall we say, unforced error. Foley's going to pick this one up.
Ricky.
Getting deep. Fatty under, good take, back to Foley. And here we go. This will be tough for Taz, but he's in best position. Oh, bit of a juggle. Tim Davis, I think, ended up having last touch there, so that'll go down as a drop for Tim. Unlucky. I think they... So what are we going to see? State of mind of the Junkyard players is going to be probably quite fragile. Here's Dennis with it. It's a decent disc, but I'm not sure Nate was really ready for that. He needed to be busting long. He was only casually jogging when that disc went up.
I spent a bit too much time watching it. Didn't run after it.
And that disc is really going to carry in this wind.
Coach David Sanderson.
So the wind has picked up even more in the last couple of minutes. Foley's throwing into quite a tough breeze. It's going to make those little catches tough. Here's a great opportunity though for the first score for Junkyard, and there it is. They're on the board. Right, we're back. Junkyard on the board at last, but now they face an upwinder. It's not an easy win, bit gusty. What do you reckon, Bruce? 6-1?
Well, could it be that Gilgamesh is starting to lose the buzz that they've got from their first few points?
Time will tell, I guess.
Momentum has been halted. Tasman
definitely looks as
watches
though
the disc.
Gilgamesh have a better body language. It seemed much more positive. Foley puts it up. This is going to go down. That's a waste. That's unfortunate. That's a waste.
It's a tough throw, the one he was going for with the wind. That disc, you can't really make it do much other than go forward.
Need a bit of excitement, I think, from Junkyard. Even after they scored that first point, the players who subbed off the field walked off with their heads down. I think they just need to feel they're in it mentally as well. Sounds like there was a pick call, which may not have been a pick call.
I think it was a call for Nick.
That happened last week a few times as well, I remember. Easy to confuse
name,
Nick and pick.
Terrible name.
It's a risky disc by Drew, and unfortunately it's going to come right into my lap.
Fred valiantly chases it over the sideline to no avail. Chris Manning
Probably look to get off the sideline here. Foley's keen for this disc. There we go. Uses Fatty, but it's a little out of his reach. Gets a bid.
And Nick, he's taking advantage of Fatty on the ground. Sando.
Characteristic drop. Bit of a bullet, but you back Sando to take that. Bit of confusion on the mark there.
It's just that little thing the wind puts in the back of your head there, Rhodes.
Absolutely. Plays with you. And there's a completely unmarked Tasman Mitchell. That's 7-1. What can they do? What can Junkyard do?
Sando can put his hand in the air.
Definitely look disorganised. Struggling to mark up on defence as well. It's almost like they haven't come prepared for a game yet.
Nick.
Wisely looked off Greg there, I think. Sando being well held by Foley. Gets it off to Drew regardless. Breaks back to Sando.
He likes that high release backhand, Drew. Gets up on his tippy toes, throws it over the shoulder.
Safe hands of Dennis Shine. I know he'll be fired up more than almost anyone on the field.
Tasman doing well to keep that mark on. Doesn't get thrown off the line. Sando.
Is a score.
No cuts coming
here,
though. Really need the continuation.
There's no movement from the stack. Break throw continuation to T. It's over his head. Got a little touch on it though.
You would probably say good throw, bit of a misread. Tough with the wind.
Chris Manning with the disc, brings up to the line. Foley on the mark. Oh, that is an awful disc.
Maybe this is the turnaround point here.
Gave Johnny very little chance to get that one.
Oh, I can see Sando busting up the line.
I think Foley's covered him pretty well so far. There's a break. Oh, out of reach.
And that
so that's another throwaway to Drew. His stats are taking a hammering tonight.
The Drew high release backhand again.
So carbon copy. Here we go. Manning again. Foley on the mark. Tim Davis this time. Tasman coming from deep. Decent cut. Good gain. They probably need to get off the line now. Jammed it to Tim.
Oh, we got both Scary and Johnny deep.
Well covered by Sando. Gets it back.
Oh, Johnny.
Not a lot of cuts coming from upfield. That's
Greg,
a tough disc. That's a
Greg
D.
wasn't really watching him there, but
Greg
gets away with it.
John Foley hanging in the end zone. I think their team needs to be a little bit more disciplined about clearing out of that space. Lots of space under, but they're clogging deep parts of the field. And that's just up. Or is it? It was touch and go from here.
That was pretty tough.
It looked like the leading edge was up and the trailing edge was down.
Could have just been the ground
like
forces, Rhodes. Bit of aerodynamics there, picking up the dirt.
Dennis with the almighty left-handed push pass. Drew with the disc. I'd throw that to Sando. Well read in the end by Sando. He puts it in. It's T. There we go. 7-2. So it's 7-2. Glimmer of hope perhaps for Junkyard, but they're facing a D point. Upwind. Sando's off the field. Dennis is off the field. Greg is off the field.
Wind has picked up considerably.
Absolutely. Not too many troubles thus far for the Gilgamesh handlers. I reckon they will shred this zone. And there we go. That's poor checking by T. Easy score.
Nice throw. Great
Fatty
throw.
the weapon to Tim Davis. Goal. 8-2. That's half. So coming up in the late time slot, Bruce, it's my team versus yours. Rhubarb versus Will. How do you see that one turning out?
Look, with the wind, I don't think you can go on the past performances.
Bit of a level of the wind, isn't it?
You could say that.
Are you missing anyone tonight?
We are missing Rog with a couple of torn quads. Just 2 though, it's okay. Chino still is not back.
Stephen Harfield, is he back?
Stephen Harfield is back, but after about a month holidaying in East Asia, Southeast Asia, so we'll see how he goes.
Rightio. Well, we're back on here, second half. Gilgamesh on offense, but that's a turn.
Oh, it's a bad start, Rhodes.
An opportunity for Junkyard to take perhaps the mental high ground in the second half if they can get this one here.
And only a couple of points, Rhodes, and they're not too far off. With quality like Sando and Drew on their team.
Well, that's it. On paper you think they've got the better team, but their use so far, and there's another one. It's just not smart throws in the wind, really.
Shows a bit of lack of confidence there as well. It's not reading it right.
That throw needed to be kept low by Greg, unfortunately. It's a bit gusty this wind, so we'll pick up from time to time.
What will Chris Manning do? Fred puts on a decent mark, gets tossed away there though. And Tim Davis.
No, he's misread that, Taz, but it doesn't matter, does it? Is it up? It looks like a goal to Fatty.
Nick, good effort from
Bailed
Nick.
Tim Davis out there. 9-2, and that's got to be game.
All right, so we've got a man of many years of experience, also in playing Frisbee, Matt Ward, next to me here. Just got a question for you, Matt. What do you think? Do you think the absence of Andrew Baddix is having a profound effect on the Junkyard here?
Baddix' good looks sort of cancel out some of Junkyard, so definitely in that stakes. But his run last week was fantastic. It's one of the best games I've played against Baddix. So yeah, I reckon they are missing him.
And what do you reckon they need to do to get back into this game?
I think they need to put their best handlers on those upwind points and just start making some captain's calls, some captain's picks.
Thanks, Matt. Wise as always.
Nick looking edgy here. He wants to dish this off. It's tight though. Foley's clogging space. That's an easy out for Nick there. Tim trailing Dennis, and that's a third point there. What's the score now, Bruce? Is that 3-8? 8-4?
Hard to say. The wind's having an effect on the scoreboard. No, 9-3. 9-3.
There we go. So still a 6-point deficit.
I guess you can just look down to the bottom left-hand corner of the screen and look at the score.
Only we had that vision, Bruce.
Or is it the top left? I don't know. We don't have the vision.
Tim with that unconventional high-release backhand. Fatty puts it up. That's going to flatten. That's a tough throw in this wind. The wind is really going to push that down.
Yep.
They've got to be pretty bladey, those throws.
Needed more weapon. Haven't really seen Johnny do much, has he?
So this looks like it's Junkyard's just about their strongest line.
Yeah.
Taz on Nick is an interesting one, although Nick doesn't look as quick as he does normally tonight. I'm not sure if he's got a niggling injury. Good diss from Drew there. Sando puts it up. This looks like it's probably going to drift out.
Wind.
Or maybe not, but Fatty's there in any case. That's the risk I was talking about before. Junkyard have really got to take risks to get back into this game, and more often than not, they're probably not going to work.
That's why they call them risks, Rhodes. Yeah, right now Tasman's just running Nick ragged a bit.
Good bid by Scary, but
Scary almost
throw
saves
from Taz was not on.
And Nick.
Drew puts it up. Look at Taz. Look at Taz's closing speed. Incredible. You'd think that Nick would normally be able to hold him out. He must have some kind of niggling injury, Bruce.
Maybe. Taz doesn't do. He does make other people look slow, though.
He does. He's probably the quickest man in Ultimate in SA, but even still, Nick is not slow.
I think Max Cowan might be offended by that call.
Oh, Sando, great intercept there.
Sando.
Now they've got to think their way through this Junkyard. And well done. Tim completely sold by Greg. There we go. 4-9. We bring you back with some devastating breaking news that Sammy Inches Ogden's ice cream machine has blown up. That ain't good.
I think it's going to affect his game. Oh, Chris Manning not brave enough to catch it.
That was a pretty red hot pull. Probably a good decision not to take that.
Drew would have taken it. Chris Manning walking it up. John Foley surveys the field. Make sure he's not going to get any easy throws off. Oh, I see, bit of a zone. Pommy. Dennis looking around. Not moving too well. Tasman making that look a bit too easy. Commentator getting hand blocked there by some rabid fans. Unruly. David Sanderson picks it up. Can he turn it around for his team? We're going to need a bit of a captain's effort here. Good effort from Fred. He's always solid. Gets it to Dennis. Gilgamesh sticking with their man. It's been working so far. Puts the pressure on every single player as opposed to just their handlers, which is good. T stuck up on the line. Tim Davis and his fluorescent hat makes him dump it back. Oh, Tim almost has a bit on that. Gives Dennis a bit of chin music. Oh, and then with the finger point.
And he loves it.
He loves it. He knew it as soon as he threw it. Straight to NATO. And they're coming back.
So it's only a 4-point deficit now that Junkyard are facing, and there's still a good 40-45 minutes left of regulation time. Plenty of time for a comeback. I know Duncan Wells is predicting an upset from here. Johnny was talking about he's got the offense point this time. His team is going to look to use to run a host stack, I think. They're going to look for an under and then a deep off the pull. They're pretty keen to make sure that they don't turn the disc over up their end. If anything, they want to play for territory here. Sando is pretty composed in the huddle. I think they may be in with a chance here if they can pull it out.
You think Gilgamesh are running out of legs?
Potentially. That was definitely brought up in the Junkyard huddle. They've got all the subs. Here we go. Just as called. It's not going to work out. Greg with the last touch. Good D.
Tim considers calling something, but thinks better of it.
So the set play came off there, but didn't retain possession. So Junkyard have an option here.
Nick
going deep.
Ooh.
It's not on. Not in this wind. He's got to come back under now. Sando will use this well.
Both Fred and Ricky cut in the same lane there. Got to try and sort that out if they want to win this.
Stack is very deep here, Bruce. And with this wind, it's going to be tough to get it out.
Could be an unintentional ISO play, Sando and Drew.
They've got to be the two best players, so it wouldn't be such a bad thing.
NATO comes streaming in, looked off.
They're really struggling to work it across the weak side of the field, jamming it down that line. Greg with the disc now.
Normally reliable. Has had a couple of shoggers
today. Good break to Drew, yeah, indeed. Drew puts it up. Ricky's
usually good in this situation. Scary. Once he gets there it is.
Good read, not in.
Nice read.
He'll be able to put this in.
Yeah,
Ricky
lovely work.
6-9.
Yeah,
they
Ricky,
are on the march.
He's quite good in that situation.
Bit of a mix-up in the commentary box. It's not 40-45 minutes to go. It's under 20. And Junkyard are on the march, 6-9. I think I called a Gilgamesh victory at about 9-3. But, gee, if they're going to keep throwing like this...
Easy stats there for Drew.
Doing everything they can to throw this game away now.
It's just stuff that wasn't coming off for him earlier in the game. Just happening for him now. No drops, safe throws. Open unders.
I think it was a bit of complacency that crept into Junkyard's game. Gilgamesh's game as well. They were throwing throws that they probably shouldn't.
Maybe getting tired, so just trying to end the game.
Maybe, but gee, they're rushing it a bit now. Momentum fair and square with Junkyard, and here's another goal. Amazing put from Sando there. Cross field, outside in forehand. Golden 8. We're back now. Sando pulling into the wind.
Matty, or Rexy, you can help. Oh no, Rexy's to warm up.
So momentum back with Junkyard. Gilgamesh just really need to settle down, just get this next one in. Foley's put it up, that's a pretty good throw. Fatty will have this. Bit of breathing space now for Gilgamesh. There's time enough for a Junkyard comeback, but have they left it too late? They've made a good fist of it, but
the wind's died down, which I think plays
true.
into their hands.
It tends to happen out here in these Lutheran fields. Windy early, dies down late.
Oh, Greg wide open. He wants it.
Sando will find the disc here, you think? Oh no. Oh, that's an very important interception from Taz there.
This is pure speed again, getting that D.
You think if Gilgamesh can manage one more point here, they may just call it quits. Oh, Ricky's in good position here. Johnny puts it down.
I think Sando got a toe on that. Get the snicker meter out.
Junkyard let back in now. Ricky right up at the sideline here. Want to get this off the line. There it is. Sando with the disc. Middle of the field. Good spot for him. Greg completely unchecked. Back to Sando. Good movement here.
Yeah, I think Johnny fears Greg's deep game.
Dennis finger in the air. Shine. He puts it up to T, but a little too much on that one. Just needed to sit it out flat in front of T there.
Gentlemen's agreement, Rose. We won't start warming up till this goes on.
Good break from Foley. Taz with a disc. Puts it to Tim Davis. He fancies himself as a deep threat here, Tim. But it's back to Scary.
The cutting's dried up a little. Definitely shortened up as well.
Will Taz unrelease the high release forehand huck? Not this time. There's a good gain here to Johnny.
He's pointing deep. He wants deep. Johnny's seen him.
Does Johnny have the elbow for the huck? Probably not. He's a little injured. Tim, a very ungainly bid there. Still, it's effective. He's got the disc. Dumps back to Foley. Foley gives and goes. Doesn't receive it back. Ooh, a lot of messy cutting upfield. Scary gets it nonetheless. They got to clear out of that corner, Gilgamesh. They got to look to use the break side here. Oh, invite Sando in, but Foley's good enough to make it his. Look at Johnny. There we go. That's it. Beautiful. Gilgamesh. 11-7. That could just be it again. Back live. The weapon pulls.
Look at Tasman. He's got legs. Sprinting down the field.
Earlier in the match, you'd think Drew would have caught that pull, but maybe he's not willing to take the risk.
Foley.
He's in an awkward position here, but Nate's well free. He'll bail him out there. Wrong sideline to be on though with this wind.
Fatty let him down a bit there. Tasman and Foley sprinted down to stop that first one. Fatty's man gets open though, and now they're off.
Not convinced by Junkyard's upfield movement here. Nick Dukovac is hanging a little deep.
No, that's going to be a killer. That could be the turning point. Declined.
He'll not be happy when he sees that on video.
I think that could be it.
He's had a great season so far though, Ricky. He's right up there in terms of completed passes and completed passes percentage.
He's got to stake his claim for Adelaide Uni Open next season.
There we go. 12-7. Got around 7 or 8 minutes left in this game. Gilgamesh have stretched their lead back out to 5 points. You would take an absolute miracle from here for Junkyard to come back into this one. Good little flurry in the middle of the game, but Gilgamesh have stamped their authority on it once again. Deft little touch from the soccer player Dennis Shine there.
If you took the first 6 points out of the game, you would probably put Junkyard on top. They just didn't fire up early enough, and it's a bit late now.
Gilgamesh really fired out of the box.
Oh, Johnny gets a fingertip or a foot on it. And, John Foley.
Misread all round in the deep there.
Scary there, Scott McKenzie clutching his hamstring. The no subs might be taking its toll.
Oh, and there's a drop.
Tries to squeeze it
Stack
in.
Not quite working there. Sando will put this in. He's had a good second half of the game, Sando. Still count 9, gets rid of it just in time. Foley's thought about the stall. Back with Sando. Ricky's going to put that to Fred. Have we got it? Yes.
The Ricky-Fred connection. There's been a couple of those
Good.
today. They work well together.
Drew with the pull. He's been pretty optimistic all game. Decent pull. Wind has dropped a little. In fact, it's pretty still right now. Manning picks up off to Scary. Out wide to Foley. Good spot to have the disc there.
Junkyard are really going to need to get a D very soon if they want any chance of coming back here. But Tasman,
It's a wonderful connection.
he doesn't want any more of that. He
And
wants to end the game.
Exactly why Junkyard are going to miss Taz. Sorry, Gilgamesh are going to miss Taz when he's away. So it's 13-8. 2 points away from point cap here. If Gilgamesh get there, it'll only be the second game, I reckon, this season that's gone to point cap. See if Junkyard can do something about that. Only a few minutes left of regulation time. Whoa, and there's a heavy collision. Scary gets taken out. Looks like he's copped a hit to his nose. He's up.
He's got a bit of head protection though, Rhodes, so probably will come out
Offered
alright
by
after
the throw.
that.
Gilgamesh searching for their 14th point. We've had a pick. Player stopped. This is going to come back in shortly here. Can Johnny jam this one in?
Pretty good.
Davis streaking with the break side. Good gain from Manning here. He's going to dish it off to Johnny. He wants the corner. It's a hot spot at the moment. Chris Manning's going to get it right out of there. Back to Foley. Who's on the break side? Taz Mitchell. It looked like he was on. They've got to be patient here, Gilgamesh. Had a timeout called by Ben Foley. So thanks to our mole in the Gilgamesh camp, it looks like the first look will be Johnny up the line, secondary look will be Fatty. Might push Nick to the open side and come back for the break. There's Johnny's first look. Here's Fatty's second look. The mole was right. Disc is with Fatty. Fatty to Taz. That's an awful disc. Greg's there to back it up. Gets the D on the goal line. He wants to put it.
I think he just wants someone long right now.
T on T. Ooh, lucky there.
Fred floating around behind him.
A lot of mess here. They need to get the disc back in the hands of one of these guys.
They need a long cut now. They got Greg.
Unfortunately, John Foley dragged Scary deep into Greg's area.
Greg floating around back in the end zone. That's no good. He's blocking off T. Greg's now poached off.
Sando all by himself. And there's no one moving upfield. This will be very frustrating for Sando. He's going to have to dump it here. Just with Drew. It looks like Drew's tiring a little. He's had a lot to do this game. And there you go. Nick just didn't have the legs to get to that. Fatty with the touch.
Make sure everyone knows it was a D.
Tim will fancy his chances here with considering the lead they've got. He's not got it. Oh, good bid by Fatty.
He's come alive this last point. Trying to get on the highlights reel while he can.
So the wind has picked up a little bit. That is a bullet.
He's claiming he got the D. We're not going to give it to him though. Don't give it to him.
Ollie walks it up. Tim's the first look. Fatty's not making the mirror cut there. He's left with a little option, but to dish it off to Johnny. It's a good look there. Oh, that's a wonderful... Oh, and he's called strip. That's controversial. Looked like there were a couple of revolutions on that disc before it got touched, but anyway, uncontested strip.
Maybe 2.5 revolutions.
Fatty will put this. That's a lovely looking disc. Taz has got the pace for this, you'd think. Oh, and he hasn't quite made it. Couldn't quite see if he got a touch on it.
Well, if
the
Taz
crowd reckons it's he dropped that one there.
If Taz wasn't going to get there, not many would have. So we'll call that a terrible throw.
So the game is all but lost for Junkyard. They're just playing for pride now, really. It's difficult to see through the fantastic crowd we've got out here tonight.
At least 700-800.
I'd say so. The northern stand is full. Commentary box is buzzing. Foley just wants to finish this. I'm sensing a fatty... yeah, there it is. There's the connection that works this time. $14-8. Gilgamesh lead. For our sake, Bruce, I certainly hope that Gilgamesh take this point so we can start warming up for our game. It's a little chilly.
Should be a ripper.
Promises to be a ripper. Both teams at near full strength.
Battle for the ages. Sean.
Swill will have Sean Lace back this week. He'll add a lot to their handler strength. Likewise, Rhubarb's going to have Max K on back. He'll provide a lot of run for us, I reckon.
Duncan Wells has withdrawn his earlier prediction of a Junkyard comeback.
What are the repercussions for that call?
I think he has to invite us all to his house for dinner.
Lamb roast?
Lamb roast.
Sounds good. Junkyard still trying here. Here's a good gain to T. If he can bring this one down. Oh, gee. Had a bit of a swipe at that. Probably should have gone with two hands.
Knocks it a bit closer to the camera so he can get a layout shot.
Taz is burning, but he's well covered by Drew this time. Johnny reels that one in nicely. Back into the middle of the field. No, he goes deep. Fatty's going to end this. Or is it going to go too deep? Can he? No, it's gone. It's gone.
Could have chance for a greatest there.
Too many wheat picks, Johnny.
Yeah, have a throw with everyone, Sean.
What can Drew do? Dennis needs to clear. That's going to be... Whoa, here. Oh, Fred was in bounds. Good feet, Fred.
Good field awareness.
Oh, Taz. Thought he had a bit on that one.
Gives it away.
Nate fumbles and it's down. Here's a chance for Gilgamesh to end it again. It's like Fatty and Taz are both the men, but gee, Nate, these are just easy stats for these guys here.
Play restarts. Sando grabs it out of the air.
Jammed right up against the line. He's not comfortable. Good swing. Good work from Fred there. Fred with the break.
Oh.
Tim gets the D. Man, lots of D stats tonight, Bruce.
Be high scoring for fantasy players out there.
The receivers will score well from Gilgamesh this week. Fatty's had a pretty good game. Can he end it with an assist?
Will Taz win it?
No.
No.
Bit of a mystery from Taz. He probably could have got to that one, I reckon.
Yeah.
Oh. Nervy times. Bit of a grunt. Bit of an Azarenka play there.
Pick cold.
Looks like it's coming back. Or did it affect the throw? Yes, it looks like it has. So disc will go back to Drew.
Confirmed it was a pick, not Nick.
I remember Bruce was one time at Nationals in Coffs Harbour. It must have been 2007 or 8. We were playing the Eastern States team from Newcastle, I reckon, and with their crazy Eastern Australian accent, they were calling out Andrew on their team, but in their accent it sounded like Andrew. Sound just like injury.
Injury. People stopping, looking around.
Nick, pick, Andrew, and injury.
Those crazy Eastern Staters.
I know. Uncouth. Sando puts it. Looks like this is probably going to come off. No, good
Fatty.
touch from Fatty.
Does well.
Doesn't stop running, Fatty.
Gilgamesh having a bit of trouble shutting it down.
So with the result beyond doubt, both teams are probably forcing the issue a little more than they usually would. Hence the string of turnovers. Oh, great gain here from Chris Manning. And in turn to Taz, it's too flat. Just a little too flat. Great bit from Taz. He always puts his body on the line. Plenty of layouts. And we're back. The game has been drawing to a close for eons now, and yeah, another turn. This is it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
He throws up his arms in exasperation. Doesn't know what to do.
They're a defeated team tonight. Started off the boil, ended off the boil.
Manning
big break throw.
Puts up a bit of a Hail Mary.
Sorry, this is going to come off. Nope, not again.
Tasman, the go-to man. Oh, and Fred, he's off.
He's on the march. He's not on. He's
still on. It's still on.
So Junkyard, they're still trying. Ricky reckons there's 7 more points in this game. Wishful thinking, I think. Especially with throws like that. Safe hands of Johnny.
Dennis starts counting from about 3 miles away.
Foley's got this. Here it is. I can feel it. Fatty. Oh my goodness.
Just someone ended.
This game is... Wind's picked back up and this game is ending like it started, with turn after turn after turn. Makes for ugly watching.
Oh, Tasman almost with the Callahan.
He's going to put this up. It's a decent look.
Not bad
Fred's
into the wind.
Get mown down. Oh no, he's got it comfortably in the end.
Not giving Fred enough respect.
On to Dennis, and here we go. Looks like...
Oh, he wants the
Junkyard and knocking on the door.
Fred wobbles a 90-degree pass.
They've worked at the break side. No continuation.
Junkyard looks like they're going to try and keep it alive with another point.
Mr. Sando, safe
no one's
hands.
cutting though.
Good disc use. Fatty with a bid. It's enough to bring about a turnover unless we have a call. It looks like there's a turn. Well overdue for my warm-up, so we're going to hand over the commentary to Matthew Slee. Matthew.
G'day there, folks. How's it going? Very close. Well, it's been a very long point. Tim lays out. Oh, geez. That was close. Both teams giving it all. Very much in Gilgamesh's favour at the moment. Hit cold. What's that? I've forgotten his name. Who's got the disc? I'm a great commentator. Right. Turnover. Johnny picks it up. Taz wants it. Oh, Tim. Too long. Drew brings it back to the line. John. Oh, sweet D by Johnny.